What's up, listeners? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the In the Endzone podcast. Just a quick heads up before we jump right into it. You can find this recording as well as some of our previous recordings on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us by searching at Settle Down Media on both of those sites. Also, be sure to follow us on our social media pages. We regularly post on Instagram. You can find us by searching at In the Endzone podcast on Instagram. Be sure to follow us on our Patreon. For less than a cup of coffee in a month, $3, you get exclusive content. You get access to behind the scenes stuff, footage before it's even out on YouTube. So yeah, check that out. Help support us. It helps us get better gear, better quality content. So it goes directly to improving the quality. So thanks for watching this and enjoy the rest of the episode. Peace.
Yo.
Excuse me. I need to say this.
Excuse me.
Wait. You know how at the beginning of last week I said that I've seen shades of the Legion of Boom. First and foremost, I have not seen shades of the Legion of Boom. I have seen fucking sunspots because I was blinded, okay? I have purple little fuzzies in my eyes because that last night was the Legion of Doom, okay?
Legion of Doom!
That was not a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Dude, my AirPods keep
That was a
out.
double chunk chocolate poopy, okay? That's what that was last night. Anyway, I'm happy Seattle stayed in it.
Seahawks secondary gets a big doom.
Devin Witherspoon.
Defensive line. Doom.
God, I can't wait for those FedEx drivers.
Doom.
Hey, he made up 40 at a good game.
Boom.
God, Geno Smith.
Nah, I'm just playing. Honestly, DK and
all right.
Geno are in.
Yep.
But,
Okay.
Defense. Wow.
Well, hey, you got 4 FedEx drivers on the defensive line. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Guys.
Welcome to the game. Welcome to the game.
Fellas. I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize. But how was your weekend? Huh?
A lot. Fun. Great.
And go for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
take it away, brother.
I don't know. It was good. I mean, we all came up to Boise to watch for birthdays for Zach and Cody's little sister's birthday, her 21st, Zach and Cody's birthday, 25th. Happy late birthday, Zach. Congratulations on surviving a whole nother year. And let's hope you do the same for next year. What else? We went to the football game.
Playing like this, I probably won't. I'll tell you that.
They played fine They played fine.
2-2.
We'll talk about that later. Well, okay. But we'll get into that later. But it was good. We went to Boise State. Ashton Genty is him. Heisman winner.
Oh, there you go. Zach?
Yeah, not gonna lie. That might have been the top 5 weekend or just top 5
Agreed.
really day in general ever that I've been in Boise with. That was a really fun weekend for me specifically. I had a blast on Saturday. That was one of the best Saturdays I've ever had in Boise. Ashton Genty, you made my weekend. I mean, I might be glazing a little bit, but man.
He's earned it. He's earned it.
That was really fun. Okay, let's get into it, fellas. Sorry, Ant.
Green 18. Red 48. Settle down. Wide 80. Set hut.
We suck. We suck. Get rid of Belichick. Get rid of Mac Jones. Get rid of our entire fucking receiving core.
You guys are 2-8.
That's what I thought.
2-7, 2-8. It doesn't matter. We still suck.
So Seahawks played the Ravens. Final score was 28-25. Geno Smith, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Anyway, not really much to write home about that game. Just
right.
This is egregious.
I don't think Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
Wait, are you putting Justin Herbert over Jared Goff?
Yes.
It was like an interview for like a new podcast company. Called Brazzers. I mean, you could see I'm literally in the headquarters right now, dude.
This podcast is dope. Not gonna lie, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, dude. He did not lie. He did not lie.
Wait, is that the first time you've noticed that? I know
wow.
the first.
Dude, that's been in there.
Like, what the fuck?
The Abraham Lincoln.
Too?
No, there's a Dick Butt Kiss one.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
but I don't know why.
yeah.
It was the first time I really looked at that because I was always really looking at the background for browsers, right?
Yeah,
so then I finally looked down at the quote and it says this podcast's pretty dope.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in there. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there.
Oh my god.
Well, look. We have a jam-filled week because not only do we have our traditional recaps, our fantasy breakdowns, our news, and our predictions for next week. look, it's been 4 weeks of football, fellas. We're starting to get some separation in the pack, and we're starting to see some. We're starting to see some teams that maybe we thought, okay, they won a couple games. No, they're heating up. The Vikings. We have our power rankings today, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this week. Bear with us; it's gonna move by pretty fast. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So first game, Thursday Night Football, Dallas at Giants. The Cowboys took that in a very unconvincing 20-15 lead. Dak Prescott has just, I mean, he had, if you look at his numbers from a raw perspective, efficient game. Daniel Jones from a raw perspective, efficient game. That game was absolute booty cheeks. Waste of my time.
Horrible.
I will say, say what you will about the Giants, but Daniel Jones has been actually kind of playing not awful football lately, and I'm not horrible. He's playing better than Trevor Lawrence.
He does this every year.
Yeah. I know. Okay, well, our starting going into our Sunday game. So we had the Saints at Falcons. The Falcons took that 26-24. Young Hoku, Young Kwaku,
He's
great
insane.
fucking kicker.
He's such a
Absolute
fucking dog, man. Did you see his celebration?
Yeah,
He takes that hoe off and just flings it in the air.
Dude,
I was like,
him.
okay, what? Okay.
I love him. You know, the Saints.
Shit.
The Saints, you know, we kind of picked them to be, you know, hey man, this team is surprising us out of nowhere, and they're starting to do the Saints thing where it's like build up that hope and then just
500. Yep.
Just look like they're 500.
We did the power rankings 2 weeks ago. I was about to say 2 years ago.
They're
2
top
weeks ago,
3.
They might have been top 3. Yeah.
Yep.
Now they might not have been in there.
Yep. So
they might not be in there.
Yeah, I know. Now they're 2-2. The Falcons are 2-2 on that front as well. So decent game. Rams at Bears was our next one. God, what a fucking doozy that game was too. The Bears took that 24-18. What an insane difference a week makes, because the Rams took down the Niners in pretty amazing fashion and then just sputtered out against a very ugly Chicago Bears offense. Caleb Williams had a good game, so I'll give him his credit. Shane Waldron has to be the worst offensive coordinator I have ever seen.
Yep.
And I will break that down when we talk a little bit more about the Seahawks. But that game, not really much to write about. Look,
Caleb Williams, every game he's improving.
I'll give him his credit. I'll give him his flowers. However, he's still not the best rookie quarterback, and we'll talk about that rookie quarterback.
He's not. No, he's not.
Look, here's our first
power rankings.
Here's our first. Let's break this down game. Yeah. Here's our first. Let's break this down game. Vikings at Packers. Fine. Look, I'm going to read the final score, and you're going to go, holy shit, what a close battle. It was not. 31-29, and I'm going to explain why that is that score that it is. Before we break this down, I'm just going to read off the quarter by quarter spread of points scored so that you guys can get a little understanding of how this game started. In the first quarter, the Minnesota Vikings scored 14 points. The Packers scored nothing. In the second quarter, the Minnesota Vikings scored 14 points. The Packers scored 7. Going into half, it was 28-7, and it was very much looking like this game is going to be a wallop, because at that time, Jordan Love had 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions, and it was like,
so bad.
Maybe bring back Malik Willis. Third quarter, no one scores anything. Finally, in the fourth quarter, the Green Bay Packers rally to score 22 points. The Vikings only scored 3.
Right? Oh no!
I believe it. I think it was 14 unanswered. Vikings got a score or whatever. Anyway, look, that game was a tale of 2 halves. Really, a tale of 3 quarters and 1 quarter. Because if you turned on the game in the morning and had to run, you're like, oh my God, Vikings are going to blow them out. You return to that game and it is down to an onside kick, you would be fucking shocked. Look, Jordan Love, man, had 3 interceptions on the day, but really rallied back in that second half. 4 touchdowns, almost 400 yards passing. The fucking man of the match has done this every gosh darn day, every week, day in, day out. Sam Darnold, 20 of 28, not the greatest stat line, but he had 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He also had 7 carries for 15 yards. Only had 1 interception in that game. I mean,
MVP Darnold.
And
That's all
I'm
gonna
going
say.
to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he put up all those stats in the third in the first half.
Yep.
He had
Yep.
like nothing in the second half. So he played great. I mean, it's crazy to say that we're 4 weeks in and Sam Darnold is still balling out on the best team in football. But you know what? If you
Yeah.
convince
I'm
me
not
that
gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, they're doing this
Go ahead.
without a couple of weapons.
I
Some
know.
weapons are coming back. Justin Jefferson is not playing like Justin Jefferson has in the past, at least stats wise. However, if you watch Justin, he is a fucking man amongst boys. He's a man amongst boys, dude. He's different. He's fucking.
He is
different.
very
He's
good.
Open literally every play. There was a play, and look,
Where he
I'm
made the
not gonna give
block.
Sam.
Is that what you're going to talk
I'm
about?
not gonna. No. I'm not gonna give
Oh.
Sam a lot of shit. This was a horrible ball, a fucking horrible ball. It should have been picked, but Justin didn't even have late hands. He had a late hand. They were running a fade route. He throws a back shoulder pass, not a back shoulder pass. It almost hit the DB. However, Justin, being Justin, ran with it, pretending like he didn't see the ball, caught it like that, smashed it against his chest, scores a touchdown. And look, Sam has played great. That was not a great ball. Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's is a man amongst boys.
That's a freak.
Ant, was there anything that any shock in this game?
I will say shock about Jordan Love playing the way he did, coming right off that injury. I'll give him his flowers for that. Honestly, like
Zay Flowers.
God, you don't get me started with him.
God.
Tua. Zay.
Flowers.
Flowers.
But
Okay.
so yes, Jordan Love played great. I
Yeah.
will give him his flowers on that. Sam Darnold, he's balling out. I will say, and I said I think the past week and the week before, they said that the Vikings were going to go 0-5. These motherfuckers are 4-0.
Yep.
They are dangerous. The defense even looks good.
Dude,
Everything
the defense
about
looks
them.
fucking amazing.
We were
Amazing.
wrong.
Dude,
We were
look,
wrong.
I will say this. I don't know what fucking defense they play, but they play with 3 safeties when it's like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8,
Oh yeah.
3rd and 12 when it's long. I don't know exactly the definition of that defense, but it's like a hybrid of a couple like typical defenses you see. Those safeties, and maybe I was wrong about Brandon Ayuk getting fucking locked up because they're locking up everyone. Those safeties are fucking legit.
They've been.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's sometimes you watch. Sorry, go ahead, Ant.
They got the
Ant,
Jets.
you-
They got the
No,
Jets.
I was just gonna say,
They're gonna
whatever
go
they're
5-0.
cooking up at those practices right now. Oh man, they're cooking good, like
Well,
Breaking Bad good. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
what
5
they
and
gumbo.
0.
They're
playing the
making
Jets.
gumbo right now.
They should be 5 and 0.
We're not going
Look,
to.
I gotta say this, man.
Ahead, but
I
Yeah.
gotta say this. Sometimes you watch these like moments, like a Linsanity run, and you're like, okay, this team's fucking cooking, and how good are they going to be? And at the beginning of the season, we talked about how bad the Vikings offseason was. They're starting. JJ McCarthy goes out. I have said it
It's a
before,
blessing in disguise.
and I have said this. But I don't know if there's an actual receipt, but in my heart of hearts, have always felt, especially watching Sam Darnold when he played for the Niners in the few times that he did, I felt like I have watched Geno do it. I feel like Sam Darnold has the talent. And I felt like Sam Darnold could step up and be the guy because he's done it before. And he's done it, man. And you lose Kyrie Jackson, unfortunately, your cornerback who you picked to be a cornerstone, and it doesn't matter. And dude, rest in peace to that man. But it's been the next man up mentality. And the Vikings have just stepped up and delivered in every facet of football right now. And
They look so good, man.
I think sometimes, again, I said that Linsanity run. I think we might be fully wrong on this, just as we were wrong about predicting whether they'd be good or not. They have been. I think they might actually just be here to stay. I think what they have done this year is like the Houston Texans of last year.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you,
so-
and this might be something that we could talk about later, but I think some franchises are failing quarterbacks before quarterbacks are failing franchises, and it's pretty evident with a couple of quarterbacks. Excuse me, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. Thank you, Geno Smith.
Yep.
We
Yep.
look at this, and the other player I was going to mention is Bryce Young. He's not playing right now, but
I
Bryce
think,
Young at an offense like that, man, you're not going to thrive. And realistically,
yeah,
if you're a Bryce fan, stick with it. Stick with it.
yeah.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
this year is one of
could
those
pay
years where it
dividends.
shows, man. It
Yeah,
shows.
it could pay dividends. Look, that was the game. One of the games of the week. I mean, that was a top
It was
3 game
insane.
of the week. Steelers at Colts. This is another really good game. Colts took this in a very dominating fashion because the Steelers, we've been kind of looking at them. Are they all that in a bag of chips? Justin Fields had a bad turnover early on in the game that kind of cost him a little bit of momentum. Dude, he rallied, man. He played fantastic. 22 of 34, 312 yards, one
Justin
touchdown.
Fields is another one.
Exactly. Like, he has the talent. He had 55 yards on 10 carries and 2 touchdowns, almost a 400-yard day. But really, man, the guy who continuously does this and steps up and delivers and steps up, doesn't matter, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, man. Look, didn't play out of his mind, but he played exactly like a Malik Willis. 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor got a lot of opportunity, but look, Anthony Richardson was 3 for 4 with 71 yards. Joe Flacco comes in and seals that game for them. And I don't know, man.
Another Cleveland Brown on us.
It's
well,
nice to see.
Hold on a second. I will say this: Anthony Richardson hurt himself.
I know. He got injured. He got injured.
I don't want to be that guy. No. He hurt himself. Like, it was him that did it. There was one play where he hurt his hip, where he got hit, and I was like, okay, that one was pretty bad. And then he ran with it again, and then got a concussion. So it's like,
that was bad. That was
double whammy.
Come on,
double whammy.
Yeah. I love Anthony, but I picked him in fantasy. And man, is he fan?
He's been worrying.
Not
been worrying a little bit.
You.
Colts get a very important win, one that they really
that was
much
huge.
needed.
I'm not gonna lie. They definitely needed that one. Definitely needed that one. That's
Speaking of
back
teams,
to them, right?
Yeah. Speaking of teams that needed it
Colts.
and didn't get it, actually 2 teams that needed it. Broncos played the Jets in New York, rainy day. This was a fucking stinker, Bobinker. Aaron Rodgers just played like an MVP last week and then comes out and delivers this shit. 9-10 was the final score. That's a baseball score. That is a playoff atmosphere baseball score.
It kind of reminded me of like a November game where it's super rainy, not great weather, defenses are balling out, good quarterbacks aren't playing well, ball is slippery, but it's like, how?
Not like, good football.
Why? What is going on?
Not good football. Bo Nix had 60 yards. Bo Nix had 60 yards and 1 touchdown. Like, that's I'm sorry. 12 for 25, and then Aaron Rodgers 24 for 42. What is this? The 50% club? Come on.
A-Rod played bad.
Acting like he hasn't been in the league for 20 years. Okay, whatever. The Broncos win fucking another game. I can't handle Broncos Twitter right now. Look, we're going to talk about a game that's actually really important. Eagles at Bucks. The Bucks take this 33-6 team. Woo. You're playing with some heavy hearts. Baker Mayfield was with the hurricane that hit Florida and North Carolina. Baker said it influenced the team to play well. And look, man, there was 2 games in a row where I was like, okay, is Baker actually back, or is he doing like the Linsanity thing? No, he's back.
I want to say one thing.
He put on a clinic. Go ahead.
Baker Mayfield dropped his nuts right on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles defense.
Thank you.
Dropped his nutsack. Dropped his straight up saggy nutsack right there on the forehead.
Okay. I love Baker, and I think that Baker has played great this year, but the talking head of this fucking game has to be Jalen. It has to be. The man is playing like dog shit. 68.2% completion percentage, 930 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and that doesn't even include his fucking fumbles. I want to see his fumbles. The man's fumbling, it seems like, once a game.
Yeah.
Once a game, dude. He's turning the ball over like at an insane rate. Yeah, here we go.
I mean, he's literally turning it over. Well, he's turning it over once a game because
he's fumbling and turning the ball over once and a half a game.
He's now reached 9 straight games with at least 1 turnover.
Yep.
The first Eagle quarterback to do that since Randall Cunningham. So
also,
in 1995.
I want to say this. You know how they drafted a bunch of cornerbacks and they somehow solved their cornerback and secondary issue?
No, they didn't.
No. They did not. Because Baker Mayfield, again, hey, we're going to talk about this maybe a little bit later. I don't know if it'll be a talking head, but if it's not, he'll be a conversation that will be fun throughout the whole season. He is balling out. I love Baker. And realistically, Baker's one of those guys that's really hard not to root for. I've rooted for him since college when he played with Oklahoma. Loved him with the Browns. And now he gets a chance to the Bucks, and he's showing why he's a good quarterback. I just think that consistency is a big thing for both these quarterbacks, and it's a little worrisome. I love the Bucks.
Yep.
Baker plays with his heart, but sometimes his headache.
You know what though? I mean, if you exclude the last 2 games he's had, or even include them, over his last like 8 games, he's had 6 really good ones and 2 mediocre.
Yeah.
And even those mediocre were still good enough to like win a game. It just like wasn't now what we're starting to get to expect of Baker. Like if Baker put up those stats, those last 2 games prior to this one, we'd be like, okay, that's just what Baker is. Mm-hmm. But now he's putting up these stats and we're like, oh shit, okay, that's Baker at his bad now.
Yeah.
So he's changed the narrative
right now.
Yeah, he's changing a narrative.
Right.
He's changing a narrative, and I think that's important.
Gotta love him, man. Also, I love Tampa Bay. They just got a grindy team.
I love their jerseys, man. Those cream jerseys are tough.
Oh my god, they're so tough.
Speaking of tough, the Bengals and the Panthers, man. I mean, you would think the Bengals coming in, hey man, we can't start 0 for 4. We can't start 0 for 3. They won 33-24. And I mean, at no point did it look like the Bengals are running away.
Wasn't convincing.
Wasn't convincing.
Not convincing.
And I gotta say, you know what? Joe Burrow, the best lesbian quarterback I have ever seen in the NFL. He's played good football. I'll give him his flowers, his A flowers. He hasn't played awful, but and Andy Dalton played good, but I'm going to be honest, man. The Bengals, I saw something today that said the Bengals are a contender in a pretender's body. And I'm like, they're not. I don't believe they're contenders. I don't think any part of them right now screams to me that they are a playoff caliber football team. I'm sorry.
They do this. But they
do this.
They do.
They write them off every year.
They are the San Diego Padres right now. You're just not expecting them to make the playoffs, and they do.
For some reason, though, this year feels different. Doesn't feel like they're clicking all the way. They don't have a run game. That defense is fucking horrible.
T. Higgins has been awful.
Really bad. Yeah.
In a contract year, he's really just, I mean, him
and Brandon Ayuk just holding hands together.
Yep. Even he's got better numbers than Ayuk right now, but that's time for another thing. Anyway, Bengals avoid the 0-4, and
big win for them. But
big win against arguably one of the worst teams in football now. Hey, but on that note, we're going to talk about a team that is 0-4 and a team that has a head coach that probably shouldn't actually land in his next destination. The Jags played the Texans, and I'm going to be honest, since the start of the season, the Texans have probably been the least convincing Super Bowl contender I have seen all year outside of the Bengals, because they barely beat the Jaguars 24-20 in this game. And at no point, again, did it look like the Texans were convincing enough to beat what is the worst team.
I've looked at a couple power rankings just to see like kind of my power rankings versus like NFL, CBS, stuff like that. The Texans are averaging a number 4 spot in all 3 of those. I've seen them at 3, I've seen them at 4, and I've seen them at 5.
Yep, I've seen them mainly
3, 4, 5. What the fuck?
Yeah,
they don't look convincingly good at all.
We're going to talk about those in our power rankings, but look, I haven't been happy with them. I haven't been happy with them at all.
Hey, CJ Stroud, there's definitely some times where he looks like an MVP. Definitely some times where he looks like he's having a bit of a sophomore slump.
That's kind of where my head's been at.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just going to be honest. Ever since he said to Caleb Williams, just keep doing your thing, he's been kind of sucking it up. So maybe he needs to stop doing that. Maybe he needs to stop doing it. Okay, look, we're going to talk about right now. I think he's the unanimous rookie of the year. I don't even think there's a fucking question about it. The Commanders at the Cardinals. What Dan Quinn and the ownership, since that team has been sold, what they have done this year has been astounding. Because the Washington Commanders beat up on the Cardinals 42-14. They now sit at 3-1 on the season. And I'm going to be honest, this is not my crazy stat of the week, but I want to say it's something like in the history of Washington football, they have never had a quarterback throw for more than 4,500 yards. I'm going to be 100% honest. Jaden Daniels is that guy. Jaden Daniels is going to do it. Jaden Daniels is to save that franchise. He is otherworldly right now. I mean, talk about a guy who comes in, doesn't even look like a rookie. He is CJ Stroud of 2024.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been playing out of his fucking mind.
And other other than Terry, name a fucking weapon like that they have in their wideout core, because Brian Robinson has been balling. But name a baller in that receiver room. You can't.
Nope.
Dude,
So-
oh my God. Okay, listen to his stats here.
Yeah.
And this shit's fucking nuts. This stat, okay, I'm going to name just one stat. We don't have to fucking talk about anything other than this. 82.1 completion percentage. 82.1. Every 10 balls that he throws, he's completing 8 to some bums. Some bums. No disrespect to him, but fuck.
No.
Holy
Well, look,
shit.
you stole my cool stat of the week, and so I'm just gonna lay it out. No, it's fine. It's fine
go for
because
it. I'm sorry.
you didn't include everything.
Yeah.
With 87 completions on 106 attempts, Jaden Daniels' 82.1 completion percentage is now the highest for any quarterback in the first 4 games of a season with minimum 75 pass attempts. It is also the highest percentage of any player in a 4-game span at any point in their career since 1950.
Dude,
Sheesh.
it's fucking nuts.
So
Dan
what he's
Quinn,
doing
too.
right now,
Basically,
yeah,
sorry.
I really think Dan Quinn was held back by the Cowboys, and I might have been wrong. You know, he led
don't
Seattle
want to
to
say it too soon,
ring.
but
So
Coach of the Year?
Mike McDonald.
At
Mike
this point-
McDonald still
at this point-
sits on that ladder.
At this point, it's got to be 1-2.
1-2. Absolutely.
Actually,
There's a couple teams. There's a
yeah.
couple teams.
Maybe we should do this without looking at all the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're missing the Vikings. It's like whatever his name is, Kevin, Heather, whatever his name is, Kevin O'Connell. Thank you.
Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, there's a couple teams. I don't want to get into it.
Anyway, whatever. Patriots at 49ers was our next game. I'll let you guys rant about this. I'm going to be 100% honest before I pass the mic on. I understand not wanting Drake May to play, but Drake May right now isn't learning behind a quarterback who's been dominating. Drake May is learning right now how to throw for 150 yards or less and take 7 sacks. And I don't know. I don't actually know if what he's doing sitting behind this right now is valuable insight. He might be learning on what not to do, but I don't know how he's actually going to be able to use this and apply it to his profession when he becomes a starter. That's all I'm going to say. 49ers take this game 30-13. Zach, if you want to go ahead and lead it. Ant seems like he's checked out of this stat line. So,
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't too convinced with the win. There's a lot of teams that I could put against the Niners and be like, you know what? This could be a close game. I went to that game a little bit worried based off of what we've seen, but in the back of my head, I kind of felt that they were going to blow out the Patriots. In that first half, it wasn't convincing whatsoever. I mean, I watched that game and was like, what the fuck are we doing? It should have been 21-0 after the first quarter, realistically. And, dude, I love Fred Warner. He played great. I love our secondary because they actually kind of showed up. But there's pieces of that defense that just don't click together until the second half. And that's why we lose some big games, or they click for the first half and then not the second half. It seems like the coaching difference is one of those things right now where we're trying to like mesh. Fred Warner, in my opinion, should be the defensive player of the year. Him or Hutchinson. Aiden has been fucking balling out. And mind you, I will say this. Aiden Hutchinson, I thought coming out of college was going to be a bust. So I was completely wrong with that. But he's been
shout out
balling
Mike
too.
McDonald, baby.
Tavares Ward actually fucking showed up. He looked like an all-pro like he did last year. And the Patriots, man, with a better quarterback, I think would have kept that game closer. Nick Bosa also, like I said, has been playing a bit slow since 2 years ago where he had that crazy season. Man, did he not look – shit. You guys hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah,
I heard, man, he did not look blank.
Man, did he not look slow yesterday. I'm trying to find the stat, but I literally texted John. Maybe we talked about it over the weekend because he was in Boise, but I was like, dude, since 2 years ago, Nick Bosa has looked like he's been slow, man. I don't know if it's just his get off or if he's not blocking, not breaking blocks as well, but he just doesn't look like he's getting to the quarterback as fast as he typically is. And if you know Nick, typically his get off is what's perfect. Like I'm going to say he has one of the best get offs in the league. Yesterday, he led the league and maybe, I don't want to say all time. I'm trying to find the stat right now, but I know that Nick Bosa's get off yesterday in the second half was the quickest ever for him. So he did not look slow. That looks pretty convincing for at least Nick Bosa. Hopefully he continues to get some sacks and I don't know, beats those blockers because he has not looked great the first 3 weeks. Last week he looked perfect. He had 9 pressures, 1 sack, he had a forced fumble, had a couple of tackles. So he looked good. Again, I don't think the Niners are a top 10 team. I'm going to say it. Before we do our power rankings, I don't think they are. And we can move on.
Fair. That's fair. Ant, did you have anything you wanted to say? I mean,
I was gonna do the we suck thing, but no.
We suck. We suck. 2-7, 2-8 doesn't fucking matter.
We still suck. No, I mean, it's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. I knew we were gonna get blown out. Zach, we did get blown out by you guys 100%. 30-13. That's a blowout. It may have not been what you wanted out of it, but
no. I think it was a blowout for sure. It just wasn't the blowout that I was expecting.
Okay, got it. Okay. Maybe.
Or honestly, I thought that the score was closer than what it actually was. At least watching it, I'm just nitpicking at this point. It was a complete blowout. 17 points in any game is a blowout, but
yes,
I will say it just wasn't as convincing as I wanted to be. That's what I meant.
Okay,
that's fair.
But I mean, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I called it. And I said, Zach, you guys have nothing to be worried about. We are going to get blown out this game. And if somehow miraculously the Patriots win, my God, I'll be very shocked. But I went into that game expecting nothing. I thought we were going to get just a field goal for points, and that was it. Honestly, I thought that was going to be it. But I mean, Drake May, I don't expect him to learn much right now on that sideline, other than what not to do. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
But I have no words for that. We lost,
which was weird to me. He was sitting on the sideline without even his helmet in his hand or on. I mean, I'm like, I get it, but it's also like, dude, I don't know. And typically players do that.
I guess. I don't know. It makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting blown out, why would you throw him in? You know?
Well, because I think you just have to trust the process, and maybe I'm wrong, but
trust the process.
I mean, this has been the recipe for success.
I think right now, all too much, teams want instant success and they can't accept the rebuild. And if you look at the most successful teams, a lot of those quarterbacks sat through a year.
Although I will say there's been a lot of teams that have not been rebuilding for a while. And realistically, this year specifically, we've seen a couple of teams 1 year into rebound year be extremely good. So
that's fair. I don't know. That's fair. But I just don't think if you throw Drake May out there, it's not like you're going to win 10 games. So there might you kind of have to just eat the year.
You know?
Well, you boost the offensive line, give him protection. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway,
but he needs to see the field at least once.
Of course. Well, he has. He'll get garbage time. Well, look, we're going to move on. Browns at Raiders. This was actually a pretty good game. I got to be honest, Deshaun Watson had some moments where he was good and then immediately followed up with moments where he was bad. Raiders take this game 20-16, got a pretty crucial sack in the red zone, ended the game on 4th down. You could see the crowd. They definitely needed that win. So that was good. I mean, Raiders get a win. Tyler Lewis doesn't break his closet door. So, look, we have a pretty interesting one. Chiefs at Chargers. This is a game that was kind of muddled with controversy. Chiefs take this by 7 against Chargers. 17-10 was the final score. We'll talk about this later. Rashee Rice injured, probably out for the season. Mahomes, gonna be honest, man. You know, we always kind of see this. We always kind of see this like first maybe 2 weeks, not great, and then he turns it on. I haven't seen it this bad this length of time. It might have to do with the fact that Travis Kelce has literally just been non-existent.
I will say last game he kind of turned it on, and guess why? Because Derwin James was suspended the game before the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Travis Kelce is still like in tour mode with his girlfriend, but he's got to snap back into it. He's got to snap back into it.
He's gonna retire.
Yeah.
If they he's retiring.
Yeah. Why not? Sunday night football game. We got 3 more to cover, and then we'll jump into fantasy. Bills at Ravens. This game shocked us all. Derrick Henry literally started the game with an 87-yard touchdown rush, and that was it. From that first play of the game, it was over. Bills at no point felt like they had any semblance of offense, and they took that game 35-10 at M&T Bank Stadium.
Before we move on, I will say this. The reason why I thought the Bills would struggle, at least in their division, or to win their division, was because of injuries and who they traded away. The Bills in the first 3 games surprised me because, number one, Josh Allen did not turn over the ball. He did turn over the ball once with the fumble, but he has not.
But he was playing great. He was playing good ball.
Yes, exactly.
He was playing
MVP
great ball,
right? Yes.
Yeah.
And then we go into the last game, right, against the Ravens. That defense looked like they were missing their key players. I mean, against a run, against a pass, they had their will pretty much with everything the Ravens, that is. I will say the Bills, however, and Josh Allen didn't throw a turnover. He didn't throw a pick, but he did not play good. And like you said, Keaton, that offense struggled like a motherfucker. That was shocking. The most shocking game of the week.
Keon Coleman's inability to get it going through 4 weeks has been a little worrisome for me.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Like, it takes guys time, but for him, with how good he was coming out of college, I would like to see him get it going already, and I haven't seen it yet. Khalil Shakir, shout out the guy because he has been balling. He has been playing great ball. He has become receiver 1, and
I said this.
That was the most shocking game of the year so far for me.
Yeah,
I mean, 35-10 in a game where you're favored. I did not expect that.
Ant, you had something quick?
No, I just said I called that with Shakir. Wide receiver 1 for the Bills.
Yes, you did.
Absolutely.
Yes,
He's been great. He's been great.
Everyone said Keon Coleman. I said no, he won't.
He's been awesome.
Yep.
He did.
And yeah, he's just stepped up when he needs to, and he makes the right plays, right? So the biggest thing, Derrick Henry still has that in him. I think just little by little, he's starting to show, hey, we can make this work. And those big runs with that offensive line plugging the hole, it's been really important. So,
I agree.
Yeah, last 2 games, Monday night, double fucking header again. So stupid. Titans at Dolphins at the same time as the Seahawks at Lions. No one's going to watch the Titans at Dolphins unless you're a fan of the 2 teams. And that game was exactly how you'd expect. The Titans played okay, but because the Dolphins were using a practice squad, Tyler Huntley, who I had hopes on, they got blown out, man. 31-12 was the final score. The Titans, Will Levis got injured, and immediately the offense started playing good. And Tyler Huntley had a lot of opportunities to succeed, and he overthrew, underthrew, was not looking good last night. So,
which absolutely sucks because my fantasy teams kind of are Miami offense heavy. The last 2 weeks, I have struggled very, very, very much, which sucks. But the Titans blew them the fuck out. I was not expecting a blowout win. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally fair. Okay, our last game, probably the second best game of the week. Seahawks at Lions. Lions took this 42-29. I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't even be upset at this loss. Granted, there was literally a play in the fourth quarter, and I will make this ultra quick. There was a play in the fourth quarter where we were down by like 2 touchdowns, and Geno Smith is looking like, hey, are we going to call timeout? Why aren't we calling a timeout? The play clock's literally down to 0. They hiked the ball.
Yes. That
both sides are like, oh, are we playing right now? And then Geno Smith just threw it out of bounds because he had nothing. No one knew that they were playing. And it was on fourth down on the 10-yard line.
And he just threw it up.
And it was over. I mean, and I can't even blame Geno, man. I can't even be upset at Geno.
I'm going to be honest with you. After Josh Allen's performance, Geno Smith should be the front runner for MVP.
Sam Darnold's probably there with that record. But
just saying.
You know what? I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to be honest. I have been the biggest Geno supporter for the last 2 years, and I'm so glad. I am so glad he's doing miracles because what he's able to do right now, Aiden Hutchinson
looks incredible.
Aiden Hutchinson had 10 pressures last night. Didn't have a single sack. Geno Smith eluded more sacks than I have ever seen any quarterback ever do it. I'm going to be honest. His ability to get through a pocket and just maneuver through it makes me a happy camper. Not much to say about this game. The Lions did what the Lions did, put up a lot of points. Jared Goff had a touchdown catch, which pisses me off. But look, we lost our starting strong safety midway through the game, and we had 4 defensive linemen out on injury. So we had no pass rush. It was evident. Jared Goff literally had 14 years. He could have watched Interstellar 16 times. He could have watched Interstellar before he had to throw the ball.
18 for 18.
By definition, he had the most efficient game any quarterback has ever had based on pass attempts and completion percentage. So great job, Seattle. Really proud of you, Devin Witherspoon. Whatever. Look, let's talk fantasy. We're gonna make this ultra fast. Zach, you're 2-2.
Like I said, last 2 weeks just has not been good at all for me.
You're the 49ers. You're 2-2.
I will say I scored 121 points, which was better than the last week, which I scored 79 in. So I actually had a best performer this week, which was Nico Collins with 33.1 points. And then the biggest disappointment, week after week, Jake Elliott. Can you score more than 2 fucking points? 2 points Jake Elliott had. Then my most mediocre one was Keaton Allen. He had 4.9, which sucks because I put him in at the last second because Davante was hurt on Sunday. So not good. Overall, just kind of disappointing. I lost to Ant, so I guess we went 1-1 with the Patriots losing to the 49ers. But, yeah, disappointing week yet again. GG's, Ant.
That's fair.
GG's.
That's fair. Say what you will. Nico Collins looks like the second best, third best wide receiver in the NFL right now. So he's been balling. Look, I took a week 4 win against Stewie. He tried to do the GGs. It didn't work. It almost worked. The second he sent it, he sent it after Rashee Rice went down for an injury. So I give him a little bit of credit, but he almost pulled it off.
Makes sense.
I won 124 to 117, almost 118. Literally, Amon-Ra St. Brown and DK Metcalf had to do what they had to do to get me the win. Biggest disappointment, I got to be honest, man. What the fuck is Brandon Ayuk doing? I'm sorry. I did this again. Deebo Samuel last year, Brandon Ayuk this year. I'm over it. I will never take another Niners player ever. I'm sorry.
Jawan Jennings, wide receiver 1.
I hate the team for a reason. Whatever, dude. 6.8 points again.
My God. Holy shit.
Brandon Ayuk is like the 60th ranked wide receiver in foot fantasy. So Jake Bobo actually had say what you will. Jake Bobo had more points than Brandon Ayuk last night. So let's put that in perspective.
The last game was a bit promising. He actually caught a 40-yard pass and he caught one. He didn't have a drop. Let's just say that, which was promising for Brandon so far this year. But,
and then hold on, best performer, Almond-Ra St. Brown, 20.7 some change, and then he had a great game. Even had a touchdown pass, which is pretty cool. Yep. Unfortunately, most mediocre ass Prescott, man, 16.74. This is the 4th week in a row I have failed to put the better of the 2 quarterbacks on my field.
That's not
so
you had Baker on the bench, right?
I had Baker on the bench, and the week before I had Baker starting. He had like 10 points. Dak had 30 points. So thankfully I'm 3-1.
It's tough.
Ant.
It's tough.
So like Zach said, I got the week 4 win against Zach, 133 to 121. Ranked second now, 3-1. Biggest disappointment, 2 weeks in a row now. Zay Flowers, you need to step the fuck up. Or Lamar, fucking throw the ball. I swear on Christ, throw the ball, please. You don't throw the ball.
Need to. Yeah.
That's the sad part. He doesn't need to right now. Mm-hmm. It's pissing me off. He's just handing it off to the king. It sucks. Best performer, I have 2. Deontay Johnson with 21 points. Honestly, not expecting him to perform at all. And then thank you. You know what? We may have lost to the Niners, but thank you, San Francisco defense. My God, 26 points. Thank you. I started rooting for that.
Thank you, Fred Warner.
Thank you, Fred Warner, for that 6. I honestly,
crazy turn.
I'm not going to lie. I saw that happen. Now I looked at it and I was like, I can't be mad. I was like, I can't be mad. Yep. It's a win-win.
Yep.
Win-loss. And then I was going to lose regardless. Yeah.
Might as well stack up the points.
Most mediocre, Kyler Murray with about 10 points right there. Kyler's already playing like
turning
Black Ops 6 came out already.
We were wrong. We were wrong about Kyler. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. Good week. Good win. Ant. Hey,
real quick. What?
3-1.
3-1, baby.
Exactly.
2-2, baby.
It's okay. I'm 0-4 in our settle down.
Jesus. You're 0-4?
I put up 90 points. Dude, I have no running back production right now. I can't get it going.
Oh, bad. I
can't get it going. I can't. It's been bad drafting.
That is not
real
good.
Quick, boys. I did want to bring this out with fantasy.
Go ahead.
I thought this was absolutely hilarious. So, if anyone had this team, by the way, my God, I'm so sorry. Josh Allen with 7 points. Breece Hall with 3. Well, almost 4. Devin Singletary with 4, almost 5. Rashee Rice with 0. Zay Flowers with 2. Kyle Pitts with 0. Garrett Wilson with 7. Jake Elliott with 2. Houston Texans defense with 1. Combined for 28 points.
You know what's crazy?
Team.
You know
and
what's
this
crazy?
Did
this is
someone
what it is.
actually have that team?
I guarantee you they have. I don't know if they actually have the team, but guess what?
That's like a legit team.
There is
that could be
there is
made.
one player, DeAndre Swift.
I would score
Could
the
have
whole
beaten that
team.
entire team with 29 points because DeAndre Swift had
Wow.
165 yards,
That's
29.5 points
That's
with 1
insane.
touchdown.
That's absurd.
So
That's absurd.
That's
wild.
a nice little fantasy
That is
stat of the
wild.
week.
God, there's a reason. There's a
wait.
reason we're not professionals.
I have one stat as well. I talked about this earlier with Nick Bosa and his get off. This was what I wanted to say. Nick Bosa led the 49ers pass rush with 9 pressures in week 4, nearly matching his pressure total from weeks 1 through 3. Again, slow start. However, Bosa averaged a 0.51 second pass rush get off by any defender in a game over the last 7 seasons. So not just his fucking best get off in a game this year.
So he was moving. He was moving.
But in the fucking last 7 seasons.
There we go.
So that was kind of wild.
Finally playing like a contract.
And maybe it was because of the color of the skin of the quarterback he went up against, but
Wow.
the world may never know.
Holy moly. For a second, I thought we weren't recording when you said that.
Sorry.
But that's a pretty cool stat. I like that. Look, we're all coming with stats. We're all coming with stats today.
Memes are crazy.
Look, we're talking about crazy. Let's talk crazy because we're going to jump into the news. Our first big thing, Davante Adams has finally requested a trade from the Raiders.
We were right.
It is like it's over.
Tyler,
it's going to
sorry,
happen.
Bud.
Sorry,
We called it.
Sorry,
He's not
man.
happy.
We called it during the offseason.
Look. Honestly, we have some lists here. Where is he going to go? You could go the Commanders. You could go the Jets. A reunion with Aaron Rodgers. I think that would feed generations and villages. Or you could go to the Saints, who kind of feel like at times they need another receiver of Davante Adams' caliber. And he's got. If you're Davante Adams, you are walking into a very loaded market. Someone's going to want you. It's not like you're having a fall off. He could go anywhere. But I think the Commanders is an insane spot.
But there's one more. There's one more on that list, by the way. That if he
oh my goodness.
Now,
I didn't even oh my God. Well, look, and it might look, Ant threw this down. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs, and that takes me into my next big piece of news. Because if he goes to Kansas City Chiefs, that is technically a position of need where it might not have been the week before.
Yep.
Because Rashee Rice has crashed his way into Patrick Mahomes and is more than likely out for the season. It was feared, and is it confirmed now? Is it official?
Oh my God.
Right.
That was insane.
Yeah, so it is said to be that his ACL, it was an ACL tear.
Cool.
And when Patrick Mahomes was going for the tackle and also crashed into Rashee Rice. And
that is insane.
Doink.
Look, Rashee Rice wants to crash into a minivan full of kids. That's fine. Patrick Mahomes, the leader of the NFL, he's going to give you that karma. And so he crashed right back into Rashee Rice and gave him a little taste of his own medicine.
That shit's insane. I will say there's another spot that I think Davante could go to.
Go ahead.
And that is the Bills.
That
is the Bills. He would be nasty in Buffalo. He would be nasty.
But again, like this is our thing. Like he could go anywhere. He literally could go to 50% of the NFL teams right now.
I've also seen some rumors. The 49ers trade straight up Brandon Ayuk for Davante.
Oh my God.
I've also seen that, which I don't want, but I've seen it.
Hey, you know what? Not that bad. Well, speaking of bad though, Von Miller has been suspended for violating personal conduct policy. He's been suspended 4 games. There's no ability for him to appeal. And right now, as we're reporting this news, there isn't an official cause of this violation that led to his suspension. However, there have been rumors circling around, and from what I've gathered doing my investigative research as a communications major, it sounds like the reason this happened was because he assaulted his pregnant girlfriend. And if that's the case, my brother in Christ, have fun. Have fun being a used cars salesman for Hertz Rent-A-Car, okay? Because that's where you belong.
Why?
It
dude?
just doesn't make sense. Like,
Dude.
why on earth? Why? It doesn't make
Why do you have
sense.
to? Why do that? Why
We
do
talked about
you could
this
be a
earlier.
bad person?
talked about
You
this
could be
earlier.
a bad person.
Why is every great fucking football player a fucking assaulter? Why do they assault? Why?
Hey,
What do they see in that too? By the way, they look at this like, I'm in the NFL. I'm a great player. I
Why
should
is
have
every
sold
fucking
someone.
great football player a fucking domestic violence abuser? Why? Why do we keep seeing this? It's year in and year out. We see it all the time.
I know.
I mean, I
know.
don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
hey,
It's fucking
you know, it's ugly, it's nasty. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I might not know how the NFL operates, you know, as a organization, because sometimes that stuff confuses me. So it's entirely possible that they're suspending him based on this rumor. But if they're suspending him 4 games with no ability to appeal, I think they have pretty good evidence on grounds of suspending him.
probably a
And
video.
I'm going to say guilty until proven innocent. So until we see that official report, whatever. But look, man, I you know, if you're, you know, Rashee Rice got what he deserved. I'm going to be honest. No one wants a torn ACL. He should have been suspended from the week 1 get-go. Von Miller getting what he deserves, man. If he actually did that, I hope he never returns to football. You just don't have a respect for it.
Fuck you, homie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
liked you, Vaughn. I got respect for you. Until
Yeah.
that,
Not going to happen no more.
not good.
Look,
No, not good.
our last big thing,
Not good.
I'm going to let Zach report on this, but I'm going to just break the news. Christian McCaffrey has tendonitis in both his Achilles. As someone who's experienced that, can't imagine what the guy's going through. The Madden curse is real. We called this. The Madden curse is real because he is back to the Carolina Panthers CMC that we all know and love. Zach, what's going on with him, man?
It just sucks,
He-
man. It just
he's
sucks.
so
I'm just
not
gonna
back.
Break this down. I'm going to break this down. From the start of the offseason, Christian McCaffrey, he played in one preseason game. One drive, and then did not play the rest of preseason. Kyle Shanahan said if there was a game tomorrow, Christian McCaffrey would play. Okay, cool. Regular season game number 1 was questionable. Was not fucking questionable. He was healthy until Saturday night when they put him on the injury reserve or injury list where he was questionable. And then after that game, there's rumors that are circulating. He gets fucking tendonitis. It's starting to say that his Achilles is getting involved. It's not just his ankle, which was what we were told. It was his ankle. And then week 2 goes into it. He's questionable. Then he goes to doubtful. And then they put him on injured reserve right after the game. Okay, 4 weeks, fine. He goes and sees a doctor in Germany. After he goes to Germany for treatment, San Francisco head coach Kyle Shanahan confirmed the report in his press conference. During the time that he's had it, it has been in both Achilles. I think it started in one. He overcompensated. It went to the other, but mainly one of them has just been bothering him, but he's had it in both. So we went from an ankle injury where he was questionable the night before to not playing to doubtful in week 2 to not playing to injured reserve for an Achilles injury to now having an Achilles injury, tendonitis in both of his fucking Achilles.
Yeah.
In both Achilles.
And I do.
So we went from fucking basically nothing, tendonitis in both of his Achilles. It's not looking like he's going to come back until December. I'm going to be honest with you. If the Niners going into December have, let's just say, 10-3 record, 10-2 record, if we win out, which is not going to happen, but let's say that we are like solidified to make the playoffs. Even if it's a wild card, you don't play him.
Sure.
And the way that Jordan Mason's been playing, dude, fuck, man. He's been playing great, but dude, it just sucks. It sucks.
It's tough stuff.
As a
Tough
49ers
stuff.
fan, it sucks. And like we said,
Look,
I
God, I hate the 49ers. I would do anything in my life rather than be a 49ers fan, but it still bothers me because I want, if Seattle can actually win this division, I want it to be on equal terms.
legit.
And
yeah.
I don't want an asterisk next to that division win if we ever get it. So I hope he comes back healthy, man. Just
Give me a
for the
battle.
sake. Just for the sake. Now, if Seattle sucked, I'd be like, God, I hope he was out the whole season. But that's not the case. So now I want equal terms.
Insane.
yeah. Well, look, we're going to talk about insanity, because we have teams that are going on a Linsanity run and teams that are just here to stay. Because right now it is time to do our first of 4 maybe 5 power rankings. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can all kind
Let's
of
get
just see.
ready to rumble.
Cool. All right, whatever.
All right.
Here
first,
is
by the
our
way.
official
I
tier
want-
maker.
I want to go
We are
first. I
back.
want to break the elephant
We
in
are
the room.
Just break the elephant in the room.
I'm picking Vikings number 1.
Oh, whoops.
Over the
We're
Chiefs.
almost on the same page there.
Oh, man,
Vikings
I don't
over the
mind
Chiefs
it.
for number 1.
Okay,
Patrick
I'm going to
Mahomes
be
and the Chiefs are not playing great. The only time where I really saw them play well this season, and I was like, oh my God, this team is dangerous, was week 1. And Zach and I both agreed with that. We both said the same thing. And ever since then, no.
Look, man, like I said last week, I'm not typically the guy to say, oh, they get help with the fucking refs. Every single game they played this year, it's been a one fucking score game.
Yeah.
One score
Yeah.
game. They are 4-0, but one score game.
Sorry.
They lose Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
Vikings.
Well,
Welcome to the number
it's-
1 spot.
Yeah, insane. I don't have the original preseason rankings, and probably for good measure. Because we had like the Niners at 2, the Bengals at 4. I think we had the Jets at 7. We had, the Packers at 6. So it was ugly. This has been one of the craziest weeks in the
I don't
least
even think the
predictable
Vikings would have
seasons
been
we've
in our
ever
top
seen.
20.
No.
I don't think they
No,
were
I'll
either.
say this.
We
I'll say
talked
this.
about it.
The Vikings and the Commanders wouldn't have been in our top 20.
No, we both talked about it. Like maybe
We
they're a
had the
couple years out.
Dolphins. We had the Dolphins at like 6 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look,
insane.
we're in agreement with the top 2. So now we're starting to get into that debate stage. I don't know about you guys. I have the Lions at number 3.
Yep.
I think what
also have
they
the
did.
Lions at number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think they're still the
They're turning
powerhouse in the
They're
NFC,
turning on.
and I think it just took them a second to get going. I expect them to keep this up.
Well, maybe not
God,
the
they looked-
powerhouse, but
Well,
second powerhouse.
I think they're the most consistent. I you know what, the Vikings have done this, but I just it's weird, man.
Yeah.
Because you didn't expect it, so you want it to think that it's going to end. It might not, man. It just might
Yep.
continue this way.
Yep.
So we're in agreements with our top 3. So let's go ahead. My
man.
number 4 team. This
where
is
shit gets
unfortunate. I've got Buffalo.
I have the Bills too, actually. I do.
I have Buffalo, and that's only because up until the last game that they played, they looked like the second best team in football.
They look
Here's the
great.
thing. Here's the thing. And I'm going to say this. After these first 3 teams, you can make an argument for a lot of these middle of the pack of top 10 teams. Right?
Mhm.
The Bills in the first 3 weeks, I think, looked perfect. Last week, they did not look good, but they are 3-1. And I would not put the Ravens over them, even if they did just win.
No,
I don't
and
think
it's
that's
mostly
the
because
Ravens.
the Ravens lost to the Raiders.
But again, this isn't like a confident number 4 to me. You
No,
know? Like
no.
this isn't, and I do have Buffalo in my 4th spot, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't
see,
know.
and
It's
so that's
tough.
funny
It's
that
tough
you
to
have
rank.
Bucks. That's funny that you have Bucks in your 4th spot, because in my 5 spot, I don't know about Ant, I had the Bucks.
No, I had
Um,
Buffalo. I had Buffalo.
Oh, you
He's
had
gonna
Buffalo.
have Buffalo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have Bucks in my 5 spot.
So funny
I
enough,
think they've been really good.
I had the Bucks in my. I ended up having the Bucks in my 5 spot. I was going back and forth between the Bucks and the Ravens, honestly.
Where I was too.
And with Commanders, a lot of that weird stuff, right? It's that middle of the pack. You don't really know where to put teams. It's going back and forth between a lot of teams, but I ended up putting the Bucks at 5.
Okay, Zach, what'd you have?
I had the Ravens at 5, but I don't mind that. The only reason I had the Ravens at 5 is because that win was so convincing, and I think they are starting to kind of figure it out too. But
fair.
that defense does scare me a little bit, and the Bucks, man, they played 3 great games, so I don't mind them there. I think there's again a lot of teams that can be fucking 4 through 10.
And I think what's tough about this is like the Bucks are doing what we kind of hoped and expected they would do, coming off of like a really good playoff run and like a surprising one. They've built on that, and I feel like they're playing at the expectation that we set for them. So it's hard to move them down if they've been playing as good as they have. Okay, so then I think I think that's unanimous. I actually was just looking at my thing. I don't want to say who I had at 6. I'm gonna just maybe say, do we think that at the 7 spot we go the Steelers?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're the worst 3-1 fucking team in the league. I might not even have the Steelers in my top 10.
I don't have the Steelers in my top 10. I'm going to be honest.
So I had the Steelers at 5, 6.
Look, man. Look, at my 7,
I would like to hear
on that bottom row. one that we didn't even have in the top fucking 25. Give me the
Washington.
goddamn Commanders.
Yep.
Look, I had
Holy shit, they were firing me up.
I had the Commanders at 9. I had the Commanders at 9. And I only say that.
Shit.
I only say that because, like Seattle, they've only beaten up on bad teams. But
Completely
look,
fair.
the things that Jaden Daniels has done, got to be honest, man. Holy guacamole. He is every bit as advertised.
Okay,
He's
hold on
good.
a second. Maybe we just went a little too quick with this. If the Texans and the Commanders played right now, who would win?
The Commanders. And I actually have an actual argument against that because I actually have a little bit of Texans thing that I want to add to this.
Look, man, we said this earlier. We don't think the Texans are playing great, especially as a Super Bowl contender going into the year. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got really hyped with Washington. Then I looked at it. I'm like, are the Texans really worse than Washington? Like,
I'm going to be 100% yes.
And the Texans
Yes.
played right now, who would win?
I really do think the Commanders.
I think it's a flip of a coin, but I would put the Texans next. That's my.
I would put the Texans in 8.
I would just like to say, of the teams that have a winning record, or at least are 3-1, because you said the Steelers are the weakest team with a 3-1 record. The Steelers actually have only given up 53 points. The Texans have a points scored of 79 total points this season, but a points against of 94.
What the fuck?
They have given up 16 more points than they've allowed.
Oh, because they had a
they've
lot
scored.
Wood. Yeah,
They
that
had
makes sense.
Well, no. They had
I will say.
No, I'm saying the opposite. They have scored less points than they have given up this year. Because they got absolutely
a win then, right? If
they got
3-1.
Yeah, well, no, they got obliterated by the Vikings and then barely beat the Colts, barely beat the Bears, barely beat the Jaguars. I have not been sold on them.
Yes, that would make more sense.
Meaning they've given up almost 100
Okay,
points
fine,
and they've only
fine.
scored 75.
I like it.
So, okay, with
like
that
it.
being said, I over the Texans would rather put Seattle at 8 because of what. So you're going Texans then Seattle?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, hold on.
Because I just said it.
This is
I just said it.
again where like
Beat the Colts by beat the Jags, beat 0-4. Hold on. Beat 0-4 Jags by 4. Beat the 2-2 Bears by 6. Beat the 2-2 Colts by 2 points. And lost.
I missed all that. So
well, they lost 34-7.
Seattle's better than Texas, but I will say the Texans.
They both played booty cheeks. But
Seattle
again,
lost to the Patriots though. I will just
Seattle almost lost to the Patriots. Seattle, like they haven't been that convincing. However, it is crazy. It is crazy that a 3-1 team has scored almost 20 points less than they've allowed. That's not a good look.
You see, I had the Seahawks in 9.
I think it's Texans, Seattle. Yeah,
I had the Seahawks in 9 personally.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going Seahawks 9.
And then Texans 8.
Where? Oh my God, am I
middle
freaking blind?
Yep. And then
who'd you guys have at 10?
We put some respect on the Steelers' name. They're 3-1.
Wow.
I give them the 10 spot.
Yep.
I will say that.
So,
and then I'll mention. Yes.
This is. I got to be 100% honest. I'm just gonna read off from 6 to 11.
No, just read all the way down. Just read all the way down.
No. I'm just saying what I had.
Yeah,
I had
Well.
Steelers. I had the Steelers. Then I had the Ravens. Then I had Seattle. Then Washington. Then the Niners. I didn't even have the Texans in my top 10, and that's literally because every team that they have played, they have kept it to less than a possession. And again, just you can't give up that many points and expect to be winning every game. It is a bad.
Yeah.
It's ugly. It's going to catch up to them.
Success. I can tell you that.
Wasn't it the Vikings last year that did this, where they were literally like 40 points and then they got to the playoffs and got fucking smoked?
Yep.
That's going to happen. Yep. That's going to happen. Anyway, we're going to go top to bottom.
Team, maybe the Packers.
It's fair.
Maybe the Saints.
Fair.
I would say,
yeah, I think these are
and 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Yeah, let's stick there. We're gonna go top to bottom, and then we're gonna do our final stuff, and we're done. Number 1, obviously Vikings. Number 2, you could argue the Chiefs at 2. 3, we have the Lions. 4, you have the Bills. 5, we pick the Bucks. 6, we have the Ravens. 7, we're unanimous with the Commanders. For the most part. 8, we had the Texans. 9 was Seattle. 10, the Steelers, and the honorable mention was San Francisco. They would absolutely be up on there, probably in the 5 to 7 range if they didn't fucking blow chunks against the Rams. So that's that. That's our power rankings. We won't do one till week 8, so who knows what this is going to look like. And I'm actually going to keep this one.
So
it's fun and interesting.
I'll take a picture of that.
Yeah. So speaking of clipping things, I had no transition there. I tried to make that work. That wasn't going to work. Actually, no. Speaking of being clipped, let's talk about our week 5 predictions, because our Thursday night game is the Bucks at the Falcons, and the Bucks might clip the wings on that team.
Ooh,
there we go. We made the transition.
Okay.
We made the transition. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got the Falcons.
Oh my God!
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
I got the Bucks.
I think the Falcons are a sneaky good team, especially in a division where there's a lot of competitive teams in that division. They win this one. I don't know, man. We gotta put some respect on the Falcons game. Also, they just won a grindy win against the team they just played with that game-winning kick. I will say, man, I don't know. I just feel like there's a little bit of momentum building for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay,
I
got Bucks.
I think Falcons are a sneaky team, but I swear to God, they need to start utilizing Bijan more. They don't use him enough. I'm sorry, they don't, and that's strictly why I am taking.
Sucks for fucking fantasy.
Kyle Pitts fallacy.
Kyle Pitts.
Well, okay. We're gonna move to the Sunday morning games. We have our first international game. Well, okay, that's not true. We have our first London game, our first Europe game. We have Jets at the Vikings. Again, neutral site, Wembley Stadium. So it's a home game for both, I guess, or an away game for both. I honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. Holy moly. If the Vikings don't win by 6 trillion, quadrillion points, I don't know. I'm a little upset.
Yeah, there's just no way that they lose this game.
I got the Vikings. I got the Vikings. I'm sorry.
And if you're a betting man, I would put whatever bet that you can on the Vikings. All of them. Justin Jefferson over, Sam Darnold over.
Yeah.
The over-under, spread,
over
all of it.
Potentially now.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, we have a sneaky good game coming up next. The Panthers at Bears. And I'm not going to lie. And I say that sneaky. You might think it's funny. Those two teams right now are like playing with nothing to lose. Because why not? Yeah. So it actually might be a good game. Since Andy Dalton's been playing, the team's been good. And the Panthers have kept it competitive. I have the Bears shutting down Andy Dalton. He showed a little bit of weakness. That defense is just loaded. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to go with a potential underdog here. I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Okay. No, that's fair.
I'm going to be different. I like it.
I like it. I do like it. Well, sweet. Our next game, Browns at Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah.
But I will say this would definitely be a Commanders like excuse me.
This would be the week to do it.
Yeah.
This would be the week to do it. All the eyes are on you and expectations are high. This would be the week.
I'm telling you, man, this would be a Commanders loss that we would see.
FedEx Field.
Yep, that's a Commanders loss.
FedEx Field special. Ant, who do you have?
Commanders.
Yeah, I do too. All right, Dolphins at Patriots. Holy shit.
Dolphins.
If the Dolphins don't win by 600.
No, this is not the reason.
I know. They're going to win by 10 points.
They have your number. That's why.
Thank you, Zach. Yeah. They have our number. They've had our number for fucking years and years and years. Even
wait, you're going Dolphins?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going Patriots.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
Not I'm kind of struggling with this one because
I don't like Mike McDaniel's head coach.
I've looked horrible.
Dolphins have had the Patriots number since Brady was playing with us.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
They have our number. I'm going with the Dolphins.
But I will say, man, they look horrible without Tua.
They do. Yeah.
I also have no faith in. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm praying to God the Patriots win this, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Well, look, Ravens at Bengals. Holy God! If the Bengals pull this off, what are we doing? What are we doing?
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
If the Bengals win this,
I got the
three of us in the end zone, we are in shambles. If they win,
I got the Bengals.
I got the Ravens.
Sorry,
I got the
Ravens. I'm gonna
do it. The Bengals starting. You have
the Bengals 5 weeks in a row now to win.
Zach,
I know.
that's your team to be in the Super Bowl. You have to root for them. This has been a bad look. They're gonna go 1 for 4 if they lose.
Week 1, I got the Bengals. Week 2, I got the Bengals.
The Bengals.
Week 3, I got the Bengals.
Super Bowl.
Week 4,
Week 3,
Bengals.
Week 3, if you want to place any bets, you place it down on Joe Burrow
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Week
the
3
lesbian
loss to the
dude,
Bengals.
greatest lesbian ever.
It's so bad. It's so
Next
bad, man.
next game, Colts at Jags. We don't. I'm gonna make the
Colts.
assumption Joe Flacco is still playing. In Joe Flacco we trust. So
In Joe
Colts, give me
Flacco,
that.
Either way, that game might be fucking 10-9.
Doug Peterson,
He
actually,
might
Doug
get a repeat of
Peterson,
the fucking Broncos versus Jets.
Doug Marrone. I want to say I don't know why I said Doug Peterson. No, it's Doug Peterson. Am I tripping? Yeah, Doug Peterson. He's going to be fired this week. The head coach of the Jags. Whatever.
Who the fuck is Doug Marrone?
Doug Marrone, old head coach.
Say.
I don't know why. Bills at Texans. I'm taking the Bills. I'm sorry.
I'm taking the Bills.
Again, I just made the point. The Bills have given up, or the Texans have given up more points than they've scored by a lot.
This is a bounce back game for the Bills. Give me the Bills.
So yeah, it's a tune-up game. Raiders at Broncos. Holy moly, this is going to be
my
absolute
God.
poop fest, pooper fest.
Okay, who else thinks that like the Broncos are going to win?
The Broncos, dude. If the Broncos win, Tyler
Come
might
on,
change
Bo Nix.
standards. I kind of want the
Give me
Broncos
the
to win now.
Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
Give me the Broncos. Broncos. The October wins is a Bronco. Cardinals at Niners. I mean, come on.
Niners.
Yeah, come on.
It'll be Niners
Okay.
at 10.
Okay. Packers at Rams. Packers. I mean,
Yep, Packers.
yeah.
Yep.
If Jordan Love has more than 2 turnovers, time to press the panic button. Okay. Giants at Seahawks. Holy shit. If Seattle loses this game.
You guys
Give me
should
the
win this.
Giants.
If not,
Okay, dude. That's not nice.
No, there's no. There's not.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Okay.
There's
that's
just no.
not funny.
There's just no.
Seahawks. Geno Smith might actually throw for 500 yards.
Yep.
not
With
gonna
how
lie.
he's playing right now. Go ahead. Go.
I was going to mention Sunday Night Football.
We got one more. Cowboys at Steelers. Wow.
Boring. That's Sunday.
I don't
Night
know.
Football.
I don't actually know.
Boring.
I don't know. The Steelers are going to win that in a good
I think
margin.
it's going to be a boring game. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be that's a boring Sunday Night Football game in my eyes.
2 boring teams.
I don't know. I want the Steelers to win this because, man, there's so many reasons why right now, especially in the past few days, Zach, if you know, that I really want the Cowboys now to really lose. Yeah. I'm going to say Steelers.
I'm saying the Steelers.
Please God.
That Cowboys run defense is dog shit.
Yeah.
Also, the run offense for the Steelers is dog shit. So who knows?
I think the Steelers are so fucking bad, but the Cowboys against teams that are above 500 in the last 2
The
teams.
Steelers defense has
with
locked
fucking
teams
20,
up.
Not like that, but it's really fucking bad. Give me the Steelers. Although,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. This is like a sneaky win. I could see happening.
No.
Nope,
It's
Steelers,
wraps
sorry.
for the Cowboys. It's wraps. It's over.
Do it.
Look, fellas, we got Monday Night Football. That is the last game. Saints at Chiefs. I have the Saints in this one. I think that streak of 1 possession game wins is over. I think the Saints have just too much to lose to lose this game. The Chiefs can afford it. So
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to win. There's just no shot that the Saints winning. Especially
You know what?
the last
I'm gonna say this. I want to mix
They've
it
won
up
their last
because
10.
Well, here's the thing. I want to mix it up. Every single time we've all said the Chiefs are going to win, they've won. And honestly, it's been kind of bullshit the way they've won. I want to mix it up, and I want to say the Chiefs are going to lose. I'm tired of this bullshit. I want the Chiefs to lose, and I want the Saints to win this. Kamara, run up the field, baby. Run up that field.
Also, I'm going to say this. Kamara right now, maybe along Saquon. There's got to be another guy that I'm missing. But those two
Kenneth Walker
should be the offensive player of the year frontrunners. Those two.
Okay, well, Jake Bobo, 3 catches for 30 yards. Great blocks.
Fuck.
Give it to him.
Fuck.
You're such a fucking idiot, dude. You're such an idiot.
Dude.
You're such an idiot.
That was the other guy, KJ Osborne.
I know. All right, well, look, that's our episode. Zach obviously had to ruin a good episode in the long one, but it's fine. It happens. Whatever. Here's if I can give you
no
Keaton's,
more Mr. Nice Guy.
Hold on. I'm gonna give Keaton's
What?
recommendation of the week, advice of the week. If you have a pregnant girlfriend, don't assault her. That's my time. Thanks, fellas. Have a good rest of your night.
Been excellent in the red zone. and they've been good again tonight. Seattle's got to make a stop.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to goal.